Rural Oklahoma is a study in contrasts. While some rural towns are booming, many are struggling to maintain their very existence. Those towns in trouble are seeing their economies falter and their populations dwindle on the path to becoming a relic of the past.
Throughout Oklahoma, there are old towns that have long since come and gone. Oscar in far southern Oklahoma was once an oil boom town. Now it's a mail drop. And then there are communities that never really got started. Places like Romulus, a community along Old Highway 18, which isn't even on the map anymore. It's an unincorporated town in Pottawatomie County that has a few houses, most of them abandoned, a cemetery, and a Baptist church. But just down the road is St. Louis, Oklahoma, a community that greets travelers with a sign that shows it has a sense of humor. Della Pitts has lived in St. Louis for more than 30 years.
We used to have a station, but the lady and her husband died, so we don't have a station no more. We don't have a grocery store, but we got the salvage, and they put out snacks and stuff for the oil field people, and they go down there and get it.
Across the street from Della's house is what's left of St. Louis's downtown.
Oh, that used to be oil field too, but they passed away too, and
Okay.
we used to have a great old big deal every year, but they passed away.
But it's a far different story just south of St. Louis in Murray County, in a town facing transformative growth. The Chickasaw National Recreational Area is home to natural mineral springs, lakes, and trails that have attracted people to Sulphur for decades. And now Sulphur is home again to the Artesian Hotel, a magnificent new facility replacing the original that burned down in 1962. It's a project of the Chickasaw Nation. In ceremonies opening the new luxury hotel, spa, and casino, Chickasaw Governor Bill Anotubby talked about the tribe's economic impact.
The Artesian Hotel is a natural complement to both the cultural center and the Chickasaw National Recreation Area. It will also complement destinations that are a few miles away in Davis, including Bedray Fine Chocolate and the Welcome Center in Treasure Valley and, of course, Turner Falls.
Governor Anotubby says more than 100 jobs have been created each of the last 5 months just in Murray County. In addition to the new hotel, casino, and spa, the tribe has built an art gallery and is constructing a welcome center that has led to new private investment in a downtown that had been dying.
With the promise of the Artesian, that has really spurred an interest in particularly the downtown area that is adjacent to the Artesian.
Shelley Sawatsky is executive director of the Sulphur Chamber of Commerce. She says there's a new sports bar and a new tool company now under construction downtown. Sulphur and Murray County took a lesson also from their big city neighbor to the north, Oklahoma City's MAPS project, agreeing to tax increases to make investments in their own communities.
We had a school bond that passed, and so we had school construction going on. The county residents voted in a sales tax, a perpetual sales tax, to enable the hospital board to build a brand new hospital.
Across the state to the west, though, times have been tough in Anadarko. Losing 2 major employers and having a major tourist attraction shut down has taken a toll that is visible in many neighborhoods. Neglected homes and boarded-up businesses indicate the direction this once vibrant city is heading. Downtown, Anadarko is busy, at least during midday. Shirley Gross owns Dressed and Ready, a woman's clothing store.
We go for the finer end. You know, we have name brands, and we look for stuff that maybe has been worn once, just small usage, and that's what we present. So it's got a big time feel about it, but you can buy it in a small town.
The old buildings in downtown Anadarko show the history of the area, something Shirley says helps draw in customers.
I think having the old feel down here, people want to feel what it's like to shop in an old downtown, and that's what you get. You get the new look, but the old feel.
A feeling also evident at the Anadarko Antique Mall. Owner Jim Crabtree's store features crystal, original artwork, grandfather clocks, and more. Crabtree says younger people aren't very interested in his offerings, but he knows what is old will be new again.
I think history repeats itself. You know, 3 or 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. they may just go crazy over everything again.
Shirley and Jim agree Anadarko needs more to survive, and so does another community a little farther west. Just down the road is Mountain View, a small town with an economy based on ranching and farming. The local convenience store, a bank, a pub, and the drugstore anchor what's left of downtown. That's where we found Tiffany, John, and Pete working in the pharmacy dining area. Tiffany Jones has lived most of her life in Mountain View. She says there's not much here anymore, but Tiffany says there are things a big city doesn't have.
It's simple. It's not like you don't walk outside and like there's cars everywhere. It's just little, everybody. You don't have to worry about who's the new person in town and what are they capable of or
Jonathan Farkas is a sophomore at Southwestern Oklahoma State University at nearby Weatherford. This is his last week in Mountain View.
I'm 21 now. I have a girlfriend. I have another job that I'm starting, and I'm in college. I'm going to try to finish that. So I'm going to start my own life somewhere else.
Peter Cleaver grew up on his family farm that goes back generations, but he does not see farming in his future.
I didn't really catch the fire for the farming thing. It's just never really cared for doing that stuff. And I want to try something else, see if I like something else better.
The biggest event each year is the Mountain View Godibo Free Fair. It attracts thousands of people for the food, rides, and livestock shows. Years ago, the communities of Mountain View and Godibo consolidated their public schools, moving everything to Mountain View. Built as a WPA project in 1937, the Godibo Junior and Senior High School now sits abandoned. Downtown Godibo, with its buildings that date back to statehood, has collapsed into piles of debris. The town has just over 200 inhabitants, not counting the goats, Godibo's lawn mowing brigade for the ever-increasing number of lots that sit empty as people move away. Towns like Godibo are dying a slow death, but rural economic development in Oklahoma is not dead. Just as the Chickasaw Nation has helped bring sulfur back, Rural Enterprises, Inc. has been helping to build economic development for more than 30 years. REI President and CEO Scott DeWald knows how tough things have been for small towns, especially in western Oklahoma.
So we've been through 5 years of severe drought. We've seen low wheat crops, we've seen low cattle numbers. Those guys and gals have not been able to produce a profit. And by not being able to do that, then they're not able to generate that money or turn that money into the form of a new vehicle or adding on to the barns or adding on to the cow herd, whatever the case might be.
But hope is not gone, at least for some of Oklahoma's fading towns. DeWald says there are some basic keys to success for anyone who wants to start a business and bring a rural community back to life.
We have to have that spirit of partnership. Let's work together with the OSPDCs. Let's work together with the banks. Let's work together with the federal government and the state government, all for the benefit of those people who are trying to create jobs and wealth in rural Oklahoma.